What if the story of the Star of Bethlehem wasn't merely a miracle, but a map? A celestial code hidden in plain sight, written not in ink, but in light, traced across the night sky by those who knew how to read the heavens. For centuries, astronomers and mystics alike have wondered, what was the star that led the Magi to Bethlehem? A supernova? A planetary alignment? Or something far more deliberate, a cosmic signature marking the birth of divine consciousness on Earth? Tonight, we journey beyond the manger and the myth, into the vault of the stars themselves, to uncover the hidden star maps within the Nativity story, and what they reveal about the secret geometry between heaven and human destiny. To understand the Star of Bethlehem, we must first return over 2,000 years to a winter night in the ancient Near East. Imagine the silence of the desert. The cold sand glitters under a canopy of infinite stars. And far to the east, scholars known as the Magi, astronomer priests of Persia, observe the heavens with meticulous devotion. They were not mere stargazers, but keepers of a sacred science, the art of reading the divine will inscribed among the constellations. Their temples were observatories, their scriptures were star maps. In the wisdom of Zoroaster and the Chaldean mystics, the sky was not random. It was a mirror of the soul of the world. Each planet, each conjunction, a living symbol of cosmic intention. And so, when they beheld a rare and radiant sign rising in the western sky, a conjunction between Jupiter, the planet of kings, and Saturn, the guardian of time, they did not see coincidence. They saw prophecy unfolding in the heavens. Modern astronomers, like Johannes Kepler centuries later, confirmed that such a conjunction did occur around 7 BCE within the constellation of Pisces, the sign long associated with the coming of a divine savior. To the Magi, this was no ordinary event. Jupiter's royal light entering Pisces, the fish, symbol of spiritual rebirth, announced the arrival of a cosmic king. And so, guided by that celestial alignment, they began their long journey west, following not a single star, but a map of meaning woven through the night sky. But what if that journey, east to west, darkness to dawn, was not merely physical? What if the Magi's pilgrimage was an initiation, and the star they followed was a reflection of an inner light, awakening within them as they traveled? The esoteric map, hidden geometry in the Nativity story. The Nativity story is more than history. It is a hologram of cosmic truth, where every figure, direction, and element encodes a pattern of the heavens. When the Gospel writers described a star that stood over the place where the child was, they were not only describing an astronomical phenomenon, they were embedding a sacred diagram into narrative form, a celestial mandala drawn in words. Consider this. The 3 Magi coming from the east mirror the 3 stars of Orion's belt, known across cultures as the celestial kings or guides. In ancient Egyptian tradition, these same stars pointed directly to the birthplace of Osiris, the dying and rising god. In the night sky of Bethlehem, Orion's belt aligns with Sirius, the brightest star, which in Egyptian cosmology heralded rebirth. The Star of Bethlehem, then, could be seen as Sirius itself, shining at its peak in winter, guiding Orion's 3 stars to the horizon where new light is born. This cosmic alignment, Orion pointing to Sirius, and Sirius rising near the constellation of Virgo, the Virgin, creates a pattern echoed in the Gospel. The three wise men, Orion's belt, following the star in the east to find the virgin with the child. The heavens, it seems, were mirroring the story long before it was written. The Nativity was not simply observed under the stars, it was encoded by them. Esoteric scholars such as Alvin Boyd Kuhn, Gerald Massey, and later authors like Graham Hancock have pointed out that ancient myths often preserved astronomical wisdom through allegory. To them, Christ's birth under a guiding star symbolizes the birth of divine awareness within humanity, the solar principle awakening in the cave of matter. The manger, then, is the human heart. The star is consciousness descending through the celestial spheres, and the Magi, the higher intelligences within us, follow that light toward inner illumination. Hidden within the geometry of the story is a timeless invitation to lift our eyes both outward and inward and remember that the map of the heavens is reflected within the soul. The spiritual code, awakening the inner star. Every ancient myth conceals a map of the soul. The Nativity is not only the story of a divine birth 2,000 years ago, it is the blueprint of your awakening, repeated every time you turn inward toward the light that guides you. The Star of Bethlehem shines above the manger, yes, but the true star rises within the cave of the heart. In the language of the mysteries, the cave or stable represents the body, the humble dwelling of spirit. The animals that surround the Christ child are our primal instincts, awaiting illumination. The star above is the light of higher consciousness, what the Hermetic masters called the nous, or divine intelligence, seeking to incarnate through awareness. The journey of the Magi, then, is the journey of the soul itself. The three gifts they carry, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, are symbols of transformation. Gold, the purified will when the ego submits to divine order. Frankincense, the breath of prayer and devotion that bridges heaven and earth. Myrrh, the acceptance of death and rebirth, the surrender of the false self so that the true self may rise. Every seeker in time becomes a magus. Each of us follows the thread of a mysterious light across the desert of the mind. We navigate doubt, shadow, silence, until at last the light leads us to that quiet place within where the divine child sleeps beneath layers of thought and fear. And when that inner child awakens, the universe seems to realign itself around that single, holy moment of awareness. So, when you gaze at the stars, remember, they are not distant fires, but mirrors of your own potential. The same cosmic intelligence that arranged the birth of worlds moves silently within your breath. To awaken the inner star, sit in stillness each dawn. Focus your attention gently between your brows, where ancient mystics say the light of the morning star resides. As you breathe, imagine that starlight descending into your heart, illuminating every hidden corner with peace. Do this with reverence, and soon you will find that the path of the Magi runs not across sand and sky, but through the chambers of your own being. The heavens above and the soul within are made of the same light. The map has always been there. You are both the traveler and the star. The closing revelation. As above, so below. In the end, the mystery of the Star of Bethlehem is not merely an ancient riddle of light in the sky. It is the reflection of a truth that has never ceased to shine. That the cosmos and consciousness are two mirrors facing each other, endlessly reflecting divine intention. The Magi followed the heavens and found a child, but the child was the heavens made flesh. The story was never meant to divide heaven from earth or myth from man. It was meant to reveal that the two are one. Every constellation, every myth, every sacred birth is a reminder of this single hermetic axiom: as above, so below; as within, so without. The stars move, and the soul awakens. The child is born in Bethlehem, and the light is born within you. They are not separate events, but two expressions of the same cosmic pulse. Look to the night sky, and you will see the story written in light: Orion bowing before Sirius, the Virgin rising on the horizon, Jupiter and Saturn merging in their dance of divine kingship. Look within, and you will find the same geometry, the same harmony, etched across the heavens of your mind. The Star of Bethlehem was never meant to lead us only to a place. It was meant to lead us home, to the recognition that the universe itself is conscious, and that we are the eyes through which it beholds its own creation. So when you next stand beneath the stars, remember, the Magi are still traveling, the light is still calling, and somewhere within the sacred stillness of your heart, the divine child still waits to be born. This is the hidden star map of the Nativity, a message written not just across the heavens, but within the soul of humanity itself. The path of light continues. The ancients taught that every myth is a mirror, and every light in the sky is a question whispered by eternity. The story of the Star of Bethlehem is not finished. It continues through every seeker who dares to follow the light of wonder, the compass of intuition, and the quiet voice of the soul. Perhaps tonight, as you step outside and lift your gaze to the sky, one of those distant stars will wink back, as if to remind you that the same brilliance that burns in their distant hearts also burns in yours. If this journey stirred something within you, stay with us. Here, we explore the forgotten languages of the cosmos, the wisdom of stars, symbols, and the secret geometry of the soul. Subscribe, share, and continue walking the path of light with us, because the story of awakening is still being written, and you are one of its stars. Peace.